The Nike Air Max 95s are an iconic shoe, there's no denying that. You might be thinking about buying a pair for yourself. They're a good looking shoe, why wouldn't you? The thing is, I've often wondered as to whether the Nike Air Max 95s work well as a gym shoe. What are they like to work out in? What are they like for moves such as squats and deadlifts? So in this short video, I'm going to look into it. I'm fully aware that they're not advertised as a shoe that's going to help you run faster or perform better in any way. They're listed on the Nike website as a lifestyle shoe for that very reason. But to be fair, so are the Nike Blazers, and for me, they performed very well as a lifting shoe. But whatever your case may be, maybe you're in a pinch, maybe you're going abroad and you only have space in your suitcase for one pair of shoes, or you've seen them on special offer and you're wondering what their performance is actually like, this video could help you out. So let's find out, are the Nike Air Max 95s a good workout shoe? Let's have a look at their construction and fit. To start with, regarding the fit, I would say that the Air Max 95s are true to size. I ordered the regular size and I had no problems with the fitting whatsoever. The 95s are also a very narrow shoe. This is of course not to everybody's liking, but Nike are known for their shoes being more on the narrow side. For what it's worth, I personally don't have wide feet, but I prefer working out in slightly wider fitting shoes. It just gives me more freedom to move my toes around, which does help my balance a little. Now these Air Max 95s, even though they look like they have a single air unit inside, they actually have two separate units, one in the front and one in the back or the heel of the shoe, as this image shows. When it comes to wearing them, they aren't a low top shoe, nor are they a high top. Nike has in the past released special editions of this shoe, what they call a sneaker boot, which sits a little higher. The reason I mention this is because high top shoes can sometimes be good for stability, which could come in handy if you're lifting heavier weights in them. You want to get as much stability as possible in your feet and ankles. Now to me, the 95s feel like a high top when you wear them. The high lacing and the padded tongue just adds to that overall feeling. What are they like as a workout shoe? Now the thing with the 95s is that they feel so padded when you wear them. There's a lot of layers in the material and in the upper of this shoe, and that can be a bit deceptive. I feel like they aren't a good shoe for flexibility. Warming up for squats and deadlifts, they felt good. When I say warm-ups, I mean doing squats and deadlifts with a lighter weight, because it's only when you get into the working sets or the heavier sets when you really start to see and feel the difference, and it's quite a dramatic difference in my opinion. The stability of the shoe is quite compromised, more so in the squat. When you lift the heavy bar off the rack, you don't really want to feel your footwear compressing in the heel in this moment. That lack of stability did mess me up a little bit. After doing the heavier working sets and finishing my squat, I did feel more fatigue in the lower regions of my feet than I normally do. I could really feel that air bubble in the heel of the shoe compress and squeeze whenever I pushed my weight off my heel. You might not feel it as much if you're a lighter person, but if you squat in them regularly, as time goes on, you will feel it more and more. So that's one thing you will notice. Now during the deadlift, I felt the same compression of the shoe when I lifted the weight, but it wasn't as bad as when I was doing squats. I did feel the same muscle fatigue in the lower areas of my legs that I felt during the squats, so that's something that's worth noting. Even though it didn't go catastrophically bad for me deadlifting and squatting in these, I really don't feel that the Nike Air Max 95s are a good choice. A much better option if you're someone who's looking to lift heavier weights is just to do it barefoot. Just take the shoe off and do it in your socks. For me, the stability just isn't there, and I don't think that they're a shoe that you're going to be able to seriously push for your personal best numbers in. When it comes to running in the Air Max 95s, running in them however was a different story. I ran for 3K in them before I felt any discomfort. I think the air unit in the forefoot really helped with the cushioning while running. I normally run on the ball areas of my feet, which is very cushioned and padded on this shoe. The same can be said if you're someone who runs on your heels. You've got a nice big air unit there to compress your foot slamming down. But the sticking point for me is the lack of flexibility that these shoes have. They just don't flex anywhere near as well as a performance shoe like say a pair of Vivos or a pair of Reebok Nanos would. As you can see here, it's very rigid. My overall opinion is this: I think they can work as a workout shoe if you're a person that doesn't do anything too intense in the gym. I would personally only work out in these if I had absolutely no other options, and even then I would consider just taking them off and lifting barefoot or in my socks. If you're going to push your limits and your goal is to up your numbers and get stronger every week, you're going to have to consider going for a more serious pair of shoes that will be better suited to that sort of workout. Running, however, they did perform a little better, but I still wouldn't look at them as a serious option. You could consider something like the Reebok Nano X3, a barefoot shoe like some of the Vivos I've tried, or even a pair of Metcons if you're looking for a multifunctional workout shoe that can also look really fashionable. I'll link to some of the reviews I've done on those shoes in the description if you want to dive a little deeper into those options. Just please don't do heavy squats or deadlifts in these Air Maxes. It's not a good idea. Also, drop a comment and let me know what shoes you work out in. I haven't seen many people lifting heavy weights in these shoes, but I know there are some people out there. So that was just my quick take on the Air Max 95 as a workout shoe. So with that being said, thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one.